Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to take a look at another way, so I already did a video about this, to do root motion animations. Now, if you don't know what root motion animation is, got a video right here that you can go watch. It's actually the previous video that I did on this same subject, but done in another way. It was a little bit more complex. However, I did explain the basics. So just go to that video. So this one, it's not as long. Now, what I'm going to show you here is this. Now, this is an animation from an animation pack called Classy Anim Pack. And one of the things this pack has in many packs that you can find on the marketplace is they have root motion animations. And root motion animation is not only important for video games, but it can be important for when you're doing animations, short films, or whatever here in Unreal Engine. The reason for that is because otherwise, you will be the one who has to move the character forward or backwards or whatever direction the character is going. And it can be a little bit painful and it can take you a long time to kind of nail the timing for it. And sometimes you end up with a slidey foot. It has happened to me before. So sometimes using root motion animation, well, I said sometimes, all the time, using root motion animation is the better case if you have them with you. Now, the issue is because they have translation, you can see that my animation is going forward. And then when I jump into another clip of that same animation, it just goes back and it stays in the same place all the time. However, if you look at this guy right here, you can see that he goes forward all the time. And these clips are exactly the same as these clips. However, there's one slight difference that we're going to talk about in this video. So we're going to turn this root animation to this one right here. And that way, all the pain and suffering that I used to get from having to translate the character in the direction of movement goes away, and animating my character using animation pack is much easier. All right, let's start from scratch. Now, all I have here is, this is actually from the Lyra project. If you want to use that, that's fine. Sure, you'll be wondering why, if I'm in 5, I'm using the default mannequin from UE4. And the reason for that is because this particular animation pack was from the UE4 mannequin. And if I do this method with the UE5 retargeted, it crashes. Like, it crashes every single time that I do it. But I'll show you a way around that later in this video. For now, I just want to show you the method. It's super easy. So all you have to do is you grab your mannequin here and you add it to Sequencer, as you would. We already know about Sequencer. If not, there's a playlist on the channel where I talk about Sequencer and how to use it. Next thing, we're going to look for the animation that we need. So let's say run forward with root. It's this one right here. Okay, this is the one that we were using before. So let me hold the key of Alt and duplicate it around 3 times. Now, what we're gonna see is that my character runs forward and then goes back to the origin point. To avoid this, instead of doing what I used to do, which is move it forward, then translate the origin, then move it forward again, that used to just take a long time. So what we can do now is, and thanks for Epic for pointing that out on a stream, is you just position yourself in the second clip and then just match a bone to wherever the previous bone was. So in this case, I'm going to choose the foot bone, the left foot bone, this one right here. And all I have to do is right click. You see there's an option here that says match with bone in previous clip. So what this is going to do is going to take this position and add it as an origin for the coming clip. That way we don't have to do any translation. It will just keep moving forward. So if we right click, make sure this is ticked, because if you have this one checked and you do this right click, sometimes it doesn't work. I don't know. I always have to have this one clicked. Then right click, match with this bone in previous clip. Then let's just look for the left foot. And there you go. So now when it goes into the second clip, it keeps on going. It doesn't return back. And you can see it does return back in the third clip. So if I select this one and right click and I match the left foot, so foot L, you can see that now he goes through the whole thing. All right, and we can do this thing with several animations. So let's try another type of animation here. Let me go to my anim pack and let's do a jump animation. I think it's jump roll. Yeah, let's do jump roll front root. Let me see if this one's the one that I want to do. Okay, this one looks fun. Now let's use this one. I'm just going to Control C so I can locate my animation a lot faster. I'm gonna position my scrubber here. Control V, here's our animation. And now as you can see, it goes forward, he goes forward all the time, and then here he goes back. We don't want that. Now what do we need to do? We need to match one of the bones, and what we're gonna do is we are going to match the left foot. Okay, it's the same. So if we go here, make sure this one's selected, match, previous clip. Does it always have to be the left foot? Absolutely not. You can match other bones and just experiment with this. So I'm just going to select the left foot and let's see what happens. Now let's see what happens if we play the whole animation. He goes forward and he jumps. Now it's not super smooth because there should be some blending here. And then he does that, but hey, we didn't have to move him at all this time. And let's just, for test sake, let's just blend this a little bit and see what happens. If we go all the way here, we can actually blend this. It's maybe too much, but I don't know. Just for testing sake. That may be too much. Let's just do very tiny blending like this. So there you go. He rolls and he keeps going. And because he keeps going, we can actually grab this root animation from the beginning. I'm gonna place it here, right where this ends. And let's give this a try. And let's go with left foot. And let's see this whole sequence play. So he goes, he does that, and he goes to the other side. Oh, that was really fun. Okay, so that was funny. Let's just add that movement forward animation. Run forward root. Okay, so if we add it here, he keeps going. Let's see. So in here, okay, we cannot match the left foot because when he is here, he has his right foot forward. So we may have to start from here. We go back here. Without any blending. There you go. So let's say he's here. Okay, let's in this case let's just match the right foot. I'm just gonna move this. Match with previous clip. Let's go all the way down. Foot R. Let's see what happens. There he goes, and now he does move slightly, so this isn't a perfect solution, but he keeps going forward, which is great. And this way we can actually add another animation, but it can play from the whole clip. FWD root. There you go. Let's add this one here and let's match the left foot. And then it does this. There you go. And of course it's not going through this slope because why would it? I move this. but let's just see the whole sequence. I put my scrubber here. We're at 117. There you go. Position ourselves at 0. Let's play this animation. And he does that and keeps going. So again, there is no movement forward like we used to do. And we're mixing various animations and you saw me using various different bones. This is a cool way of doing this. Now, like I told you in the beginning, this tends to crash if I were to retarget the animation first and then use the mannequin from UE5. Now, if I want to use the mannequin from UE5, because that's what I would use if I was using MetaHuman, what I need to do is once I'm happy with the kind of animation that I want, I would bake this whole thing and then I would retarget it. So let's just do that. So just right click onto your mannequin. We're going to bake animation sequence and we're going to save it to, I don't know, I thought I had, let's save it here and let's call it UE mannequin anim RTG for retarget underscore full. Okay. Make sure it's in the folder. On all of this, I usually leave everything on. I've never turned off anything. Export animation. Let's open. Where's my character? There you go. There is the character. Just doing the things that we assigned the character to do. And it goes from the center of the universe. So it goes from the origin. It has nothing to do with the coordinates that you had on the viewport. So you don't have to worry about that. As you can see, whenever the animation starts, he starts from the origin. All right, so the animation's good. Now what we need to do is we need to retarget that animation so it works with our mannequin from UE5. So what I'm gonna do is go into characters. This is the Lyra project. This comes with the retargeter. If you're not using the Lyra project, what you'll do is go to add feature content pack and just add the third person pack. That should do it. That should give you what I'm going to show you right now. So I'm going to go into mannequins, rigs. And as you can see, we have a bunch of things here. I'm just going to double click this one. And I already had the mannequin from the Classy animation pack, but just to show you what you should do is once you're here, usually you're not going to have this view. You're not going to have the two mannequins like I do. What you should do is go to content. In this case, I'm going to go to Classy anim pack, which is where this one is located. I'm going to go and grab the character from there. And I'm going to drop the character from here as the source because the source is where the animations are generating from. And the target is where you want your animations to go to. So I want my animations to go to Manny from UE5. Now I drop this one here. And from this, you have to switch from IK mannequin to UE4 IK mannequin. Now, if you see me in this case, it's because I have the Lyra project and the Lyra project came with one. And I just added the one from the third person just to see what happens. It's exactly the same. So just choose whichever. If you're in the Lyra project already, you don't have to do the third person thing. And apparently I had the mannequin from before. So just to show you the difference, right now I just cleared the mannequin that I had right here. If I throw in the mannequin from the anim pack, Classy anim pack, just throw it right here, you can see it populates with all the animations from the pack. So I'm just going to Control C, Control V, the animation that I just generated. I just copy and pasted the name of it. And if I double click here, you can see that our friends are doing the animation together now because it's retargeting. That looks fun when they do it together. Anyways, what you have to do after that is select your animation, click on export. I'm actually going to put it in the same folder. And we're going to add a prefix. We're going to do UE5 underscore. Oops, that's UE. There you go, UE5 underscore. And we're going to export it out. And there it is, our animation. Now, if we go back to sequencer and we add the other mannequin, let me just browse through it real quick. Skeleton, browse through what it is. There you go, mannequin. Now we're gonna just position him here, add him to sequencer. Now the UE5 mannequin, it's a little bit different, especially if you grab the one from the Lyra project. It's probably gonna pop up in the animation mode. And the one from the Lyra project does have a control rig. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to delete that control rig, because if you've seen my previous videos, if you have a control rig, the animations will not work because the control rig is the driver in this case. So I'm just gonna delete that, and I'm going to add an animation. And I'm going to type the name of that animation right here. And as you can see, it lasts exactly the same as this guy. So they will go together to do the animation. You can see they do go and they run in the same direction. However, I think the UE5 mannequin is faster. So he's probably trained a little bit more. He's a little bit more fit than the UE4 mannequin. That's probably why. You see how he goes a little bit faster in here. But yeah, you got your animation in there just like you do. And this is how I would be doing my animations. Now, let me show you a third part of using this and how I would actually use it with a motion capture suit. All right, now what we have here is my trusty pilot from the short film that I'm making. And hey, thanks for sticking around. And I'm gonna show you how I am going to use this for motion captured animations. Animations that I've done with my motion capture suit that are not particularly loopable. The benefit of the marketplace assets, or any asset pack that you buy, or at least the ones that I recommend from the marketplace, animations, even though they have forward translation, they are loopable and predictable. So you can actually select a bone and your animation will always be correct like you saw in the beginning. However, there's a little bit of a glitch and issue with animations like these, because I wasn't going for a loopable animation. However, I did want to use this animation for kind of like a longer walk instead of just ending it right here. So what I did is, from the animation that I captured, I kind of trimmed it down to where he puts his right foot here. Actually, let's just do it here. So he puts his right foot in front, and we're going to trim it. I just have to move the clip a little bit forward right there. So left foot front, and plant it. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm going to trim that animation all the way here. And the reason for that is because that animation ends with his foot planted here. So it is sort of loopable, but it's not a perfect loop, because again, I wasn't going for that, and my arms and feet are not exactly in the same position. Usually loopable animations have had some sort of treatment in Maya or Max or Blender or whatever to make it loopable. So I'm just going to put it here all the way, and as you can see, he just walks forward. All right, a little bit slower because, you know, he's just exploring. But I want to use this as a further walk forward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this animation, hold Alt, I'm going to duplicate it. And again, when I put it back to back, when he ends here, he goes back to where he was in the beginning, just like the other animation. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my scrubber right here. I'm going to save in case this thing crashes. It hasn't crashed on me so far, but now that I say it's going to crash, it probably will. But let's see. Now let's expand our red flag all the way down to here. And what we're gonna do is put the scrubber here, right click, match this bone with, we need the right foot in this case. So here it is, foot R. And let's see how this does. So let's start right here because the animation is a little bit slow. And he keeps going. But I don't know if you saw it, there's a little bit of a hitch here, because again, this isn't a loopable animation, so I'm showing you the little issue right here. You can see there's a slight change in position. That being said, because I'm doing this for a short film, there is such a thing as movie magic. So all I have to do is apply some movie magic in this very particular frame, and he'll just keep going. And this way, instead of me creating an animation for the whole length that I want him to walk, then all I can do is duplicate this animation, do this method, and he'll just keep walking forever and ever. Alright everybody, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for sticking all the way through. Thank you to my Patreons. As always, a shout out to the level 2 Patreons here on screen. You can subscribe to my patrons down in the description below. If not, you can join the channel if you prefer that. There's also the thank you button. And if not, then just leaving a like and leaving a comment for the YouTube algorithm goes a long way. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. There's the Discord if you have questions. And I'll see you in the next video.